Hi there. One of my lovely subscribers suggested that I have a listen to a young lady called Tori Holub and that I would be amazed. And that is exactly what I am, amazed. So I make no secret of absolutely adoring Karen Carpenter's voice. I may not have said it very many times, but I think maybe I did somewhere on one of my videos. So there isn't anyone that can, in my head, beat the tone and the way Karen sings or sang, unfortunately. So it was such a shame that she's not with us any longer. But so I'm listening to Tori Holub. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing your second name correctly. Sorry about that if I'm not. So I'm listening to Tori and I'm thinking, am I listening to Tori or am I listening to Karen Carpenter? Because it's rather difficult to tell. Because Tori sounds like Karen Carpenter. I mean, yes, she's definitely, what's the word? Creating a Karen Carpenter sound. I think that's all you can say about it. In other words, it's a sort of a deliberate play on, here's this is what my way of singing Karen Carpenter. And she's not really doing it her way. She's sort of doing it Karen Carpenter's way, hence the reason that it's absolutely fabulous. I mean, it really, really is the absolute image of Karen Carpenter's voice. I struggle to tell the difference, but you can tell the difference if you actually listen to one specific part of Tori's voice, which is the tone itself. Karen's got a very, this is the wrong word to use to explain what it sounds like, but it's sort of raspy. And that might well have been just the recording technique at the time and the microphones that she used and the roll-off of the equalization. It could just be that. It could just be that Tori's using a X microphone and, Karen always tried to use a similar same microphone, and it was always edited and it was always produced in the same way. It could just easily be that, but I don't think it is. I think it's the fact is that Tori has a slightly warmer vocal than Karen. Anyway, the point of me looking and listening was to be amazed, like this gentleman said I would be, and I was. Now, not only does she do Tori, that is, does she do covers of Karen Carpenter songs, but she also does other songs, and she concentrates as well on Olivia Newton-John. I say concentrate. She's done a few Olivia Newton-John tracks, but mostly on a channel it's Karen Carpenter. Now, obviously, this is going to get people very interested because everyone was waiting or has been waiting for someone that can actually sound a bit like Karen Carpenter. Now, when I started, I don't really want to say that's a bad thing because it's not. It's a good thing. If you can sing like somebody else, that's absolutely amazing. And it's a good way to attract attention. It's an amazing way to attract attention, And when I started sort of singing, there was no YouTube around or anything like that. But when I listened to my favourite singers like Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra and who else? Bing Crosby, Andy Williams, Perry Como, and all of those, then I would attempt to sing as exactly like them as I could. And some said at the time, not many because I didn't let anyone hear me really, that I did a pretty good job of a Frank Sinatra or a Dean Martin or the whole lot, the Rat Pack. What's a Rat Pack? Rat Pack. There you go. And I loved doing that. I did. I really loved copying, and that's. Some of you may know I do the Spanner and Spoon show with my friend Tom Clark Hill, and that's all about listening to voices and recreating sounds that I'd heard. Like, just as a quick example, like I used to do Thunderbird's voices, and all that sort of stuff. Yes, me lady, all that sort of stuff. So you can pull your voice around if you do that sort of thing. If you're a mimic, of which I was when I was a kid, very much a mimic, and it seems so is Tori. Tori is a bit of a mimic, so I mean that in the most nicest of possible ways, that she's basically trying to emulate her heroes. So I would be emulating like Top Cat and Hong Kong Phooey and all sorts of things like that. And as I said, along with my favourite singers like Frank Sinatra and things like and stuff. So when you do that, though, there is one negative side. And the negative side, and I'm not meaning to this to be a negative video in any way. I mean, what a voice. Really, she has got a fabulous voice, has Tori. Go and listen to her channel. Please do. And then come back and comment if you would. That would be lovely. See what you think. So anyway, back to my thing that I'm talking about. So I did exactly the same. I tried to copy it. No YouTube around. Couldn't have put out my version of Frank Sinatra. Although there is a version of me attempting to have a go at Harry Connick Jr. On my channel, and there is me doing a Frank Sinatra song. Now, my Frank Sinatra song, actually, the one that I did, got looked at by the one of the music magazines, one of the big music magazines, and someone commented on the music magazine. I can't remember what it was now. One of the big music magazines, anyway. And I didn't know this because I'd put it up on YouTube, expected nothing, and never bothered to look at my YouTube channel because I was a bit scared, really. I was a bit frightened of looking at it and seeing all the negative comments and whatever, if there were any. I don't know. Basically, I took it down, but someone else told me. After about a year, I took all of my stuff down on YouTube when I was... I suppose I was in my 20s, 30s maybe, when I took it down. Must have been, because that's when YouTube sort of started, wasn't it, I think? I don't know when. Anyway, that's not really particularly relevant. So, MME, was it? I don't know. Anyway, big music magazine. And what they did is they said, so I'm told, because someone else found it and told me, that this was the best Frank Sinatra that they'd ever heard, and blah 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 blah. And I was like thinking, okay, fair enough, that's good. And after they said that, it got 120,000 views. Yeah, and I took it down. Dope. What a complete idiot, aren't I? Now, I didn't look at the views. Someone else told me, did you know that got 120,000 views because the whatever, they'd written it in their magazine and all that sort of stuff? And then I thought, okay, well, that's just the way my brain works, isn't it, So I got a bit fed up with music at the time. It does happen, I mean, you get sort of... I don't know. It's never a love-hate relationship with music, but sometimes when you've got that type of creative mind, you can implode. And I did that quite frequently as a younger person. I'd be singing along or doing something or playing guitar, and then I'd go, "Oh, I've had enough. No, it's not good enough. I'm terrible. I'm useless." And I mean. Some say that's a good attitude to have because you get better and better, but it can also be a bit self-destructive. Anyway, in this particular thing, it was, because just imagine if I'd have left that there now, if that was on my channel, 120,000, like 20-something odd, I don't know, years ago. I can't count it up anyway, a long time ago. And the MME, or whatever it's called, decided to say that it was one of the best, and then a lot of people listened to it, which is good. Actually, I've put it back up there. It's not got hardly any views now. It's one of those things, isn't it? You put a video up, and if you're at the right place at the right time, which that obviously was years ago, and it gets noticed, doesn't it? And I've got you. That's it. Yeah, I've just remembered what the song was called. Got You Under My Skin. I've got you under my skin. And that is me singing in my voice now. You see, I try not to sing anything in as Frank Sinatra. So my point is going to come across now. I am rambling yet again. So, Tori, love your voice, fabulous voice, really like it. And you will be doing this for some time, and that is copying others' voices. And you won't be able to stop copying others' voices, and you'll then struggle a little bit to try and find your own voice. Now, it took me years and years and years to find my own voice, which is, so people tell me, somewhere in between Frank Sinatra and Mel Torme. And that's my sort of showy sort of voice, that is. When I sing other covers, like, unfortunately, you see, I love Crowded House as well, so I started copying Neil Finn, and then I started copying, Neil Diamond, and then I started copying someone else. This is the thing, I just can't stop, and I'm assuming, Tori, not that you're going to listen to this, but if you do, that would be really good. You're doing the same thing, really. You listen to your favourite voices and you think, oh, I like that. And, I love the way that they sing that phrase. Ooh, wonder if I do this. And you do it. So, yeah, there aren't many, I don't like using this word, but there aren't many tribute acts for Karen Carpenter out there. There's one or two, However, I think this is an incredible way to generate interest in your vocal abilities and your lovely personality and carry on. Brilliant, fan-flipping-tastic. However, I don't know whether do you want to get stuck in a rut of being Karen Carpenter, the reincarnated Karen Carpenter? I wouldn't think that would be a good... now, I'm desperately trying not... I wouldn't want to be horrible in any way, shape or form, but if I want to listen to Karen Carpenter, I'm going to listen to Karen Carpenter, actually the real Karen Carpenter. Now, what would be really nice is, let's say, for instance, you managed to meet up with the good old Richard Carpenter. There's a bit of... I don't really know about Richard Carpenter. At the time, I thought he was probably a bit pushy with poor old Karen and maybe pushed her to do a lot more work than she was really ready for. However, anyway, that's another story. But so I think that if you got up with Richard, and he actually got together with Richard, and he wrote a song that he would write in the style of for Karen Carpenter, yay, do it. That would be so good if you did a song that wasn't out there. But what I'm trying to say is, yes, sing other songs in the style of Karen Carpenter. Why not? Someone was saying that you sang a Beach Boys song. It was like Karen Carpenter singing the Beach Boys. That is just, whoa, amazing. Why not? Carry on doing that. But you need to find your own voice. That's all I'm trying to say, And your own voice could be somewhere in between Karen Carpenter and Olivia Newton-John. I don't know what that would sound like. A slightly Australian Karen Carpenter, maybe. Not really sure. But that would be fabulous. That would be amazing. But it will take time, It'll take a little bit of time. And the mimicking side of a vocal singer is very, very common. It's quite a normal attribute. Now, at the moment, many young singers, you see, are listening to all of these vocal gymnastics people, the ones that jump around a lot, and try and put way too many notes into one bar. And that's all very well and good, but it can get a bit boring at times. But that is unfortunately what is happening at the moment. There's a lot of young singers. I say at the moment, I think maybe it's starting to tail off slightly, which is a really good thing, because myself, I prefer to listen to a singer that can portray the emotional side of a song. The lyrics are written for a reason. They're to tell a story. Some are, some aren't, No, most are, should I say. Most are there to tell a story, And some of the greatest storytellers on the planet, you know, there are some amazing singers out there, some that you may not have heard of, like Ashley Campbell, who has just released her latest album, and there's a hell of a lot of stories in there. She's a fabulous songwriter and has a fabulous, unique sounding vocal. It's her vocal. I am sure as she was singing as a child, she would have been mimicking people like Dolly Parton, maybe, and all the great country singers of the time, until she found her own voice. And she does a brilliant job of that. She's amazing. So that's what I think probably Tori will do once she's generated all the interest and managed to grow her YouTube channel, which she's doing a brilliant job of doing that, by mimicking Olivia Newton-John and Karen Carpenter, mostly Karen Carpenter, obviously. Then that should launch her into a career where she can be herself. I don't think it's a great idea to continue solely doing a Karen Carpenter sound. Get your own sound as quick as you possibly can. That's what I'm trying to say. And the best of luck with that. Absolutely fabulous vocal. I mean, I was totally blown away. Thank you very much, lovely subscriber, for pointing me in the direction of Tori Holub. And as I said before, I am terribly sorry if I'm not pronouncing your second name correctly. So, it's very, very, very hot in the UK at the moment, so please take care. Don't run around. Don't go out in that. Only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. Yeah, I'm an Englishman, and I do tend to be stupid enough to go out into the midday sun. Take care, keep cool, and look after yourself. And see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.